Rev. 1840 is the time you listen to Radio Out 6 right here on Hot of Music there from Full Force One Network. I don't know where Rev is today. Rev.
No, I'm multitasking.
We don't usually do that.
We're panicking because we're on all these, platforms, and you're freaking out and you're trying to make sure that all these are on and so I think it's the bit that got me a bit messed up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But either way, I'm just hoping that not only do we have the signal for Swahili Nation, but I'm hoping we also have the other two, which is my YouTube channel and my Facebook. So I hope if Facebook people are listening in, please post and just let us know you're watching so that we know we are live here in Zambia, Lusaka, Zambia, on your number one station for news and entertainment.
Oh yes.
Which is Hot FM itself. And I'm so pleased today. We have a very exciting lineup. And for starters, before I even go anywhere else, we have a guest in the studio and we are going to be discussing all things KSM. Now, KSM is a company that I've had a partnership with for a long time. I've done a lot of training with KSM in the past, and today I'm privileged to have them on because we will be talking over a couple of training that they conduct. Many of you may not be aware, but I am involved in quite a bit of training myself as a peak performance and positive. Where's my mind today? As a peak performance and enhancement coach. So I do a lot of training in terms of peak performance and trying to get people to really do what they can, bring in their best in terms of personal development and the like. So KSM has been doing this, and today I'm joined by the head of training and employment bureau, which is Sharon Banda from KSM. Sharon, good afternoon. Is it evening?
Good evening.
It's evening. Good evening, Rev. Thanks for having me.
Indeed, Sharon. So, Sharon, tell us a little bit and the listeners about KSM. Who is KSM?
Okay. So, just to start off, KSM is one of the top human resource recruitment firms in Zambia. It was founded on the 3rd of June, that's 2011. So it's been running for a couple of years now.
Yes, it has.
Yes. It was founded by a CEO who is Dr. Kelvin Sokoni. I'm sure you know him very well.
Indeed. He's a brother.
Yes. And our motto that we go by is adding value to your business.
So what services do you guys offer?
So we offer quite a few services, which include HR outsourcing itself, payroll and salary servers, background checks, and also trainings.
Okay, great stuff. So what training have you got lined up in terms of your training calendar?
Okay, so coming up, our first training is an interview coaching skills masterclass. This one is going to be running monthly. The first one being on the 18th of April. This is going to be at Asmara Hotel, which is in Kalundu.
Yes, yes.
So after that, we'll have the upskilling and reskilling sales training, which is going to be on the 25th to the 26th of April. And lastly, we have our Understanding Zambia Labor Laws, which is going to be on the 2nd of May.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about what exactly is going to be happening with this coaching skills masterclass. Just to give us a bit of more details in terms of what's the content in that particular coaching, and that's the first one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. So for this training coming up, people would be able to know exactly what people on the panel look for if you're being interviewed. If you go for a job interview, what questions do they ask? What are they looking for? And you'd be also able to win a free CV design. We'll have some competitions there, some questions. If you answer them rightly, you'd be able to win either a next training or a CV design.
Yes. Okay. So what else besides that?
So also for our monthly trainings, we try to move them between cities. So like last week, we had our HR compliance and ethics training, which did very well, and people asked for a part 2. So for that one, we will be having a part 2 in Lusaka, but then we'll also be moving it to the Copper Belt, because we had so much demand on the Copper Belt. So we'll be moving it to the Copper Belt, and the dates will be advised.
Okay, so you say that this will be monthly, yeah?
Yes, it will be.
So what are the other dates, and what's the procedure for somebody to kind of get on these programs?
Okay, so the first one, as I stated, will be on the 18th of April. The second one being the 17th of May, and the other one being June the 19th.
Okay, so if somebody wants to get a hold of those and get their staff onto this or get themselves onto it, what's the procedure?
Okay, so they can get in touch with us at KSM Management Consultants. We are located in Kalundu. And also they can get in touch with us on our training department line, which is 0955 900392, or on our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We are KSM Management Consultants, and also on TikTok at KSM Zambia. Yes.
Okay, sounds very exciting. And so, anyway, for the sake of those that are following now, is there a number they can get in touch?
Yes. Okay, they can contact us on 0955 900392.
Okay, that's 0955 900 392.
Correct.
What are your parting words, and why would you encourage people to attend this particular training and all the trainings you have lined up?
So for our trainings, they're tailor-made according to what we think the market needs right now. So we go around into the market and see the latest trends, and also tailor the trainings according to what we see would be beneficial to the public to learn.
Okay.
Yes.
So examples?
So like the HR compliance and ethics training we had, there were some people who were stating that they didn't know there were different types of contracts, different types of leave. So when they're looking at their contracts that they sign with their companies, they were seeing some gaps. So they would also want that so that they can further understand some of the things in different departments.
Brilliant. So if, say, for instance, somebody is with a company and they're listening to this, what's the best way they can go about if they want to attend but they realize that they're with a company?
Individuals can also attend, even from companies. We actually advise that. So for each training, we have a 10% early bird, which is per individual. But if companies would like to bring their employees, 5 or more, we give them a 15% discount.
Which is quite sizable. Okay, so no, that sounds exciting, and we're so glad that you came through and joined us. Those of you watching us right now, let me see if I point at what it shows. There you go. So we are glad to have you on the show this morning. Oh, sorry, this evening. Where am I? We're glad to have you on the show this evening, and we're going to be having much more exciting content coming up. We want to thank Sharon for coming through. Thank you for tuning in and being part of what we're doing, and we do look forward to have you join us just after this break. Alrighty. So thank you so much, Sharon, for coming through.
Thank you for having me, Ray.
Indeed. So no, just take us on a break as we bring our guests. And so for those of you joining us live, we have Swahili Nation in the house. So Swahili Nation's in the house, and we are so excited because we know big things are coming. So we look forward to having you. They're coming on just now. I've got Mika in the studio already. And so just hang out for just 1 minute and we should get that going. So Nono, over to you, and then we'll have Mika on just now.
Music and talk radio on another level. Radio after 6.
1xBet, the path to success is a high-stakes game. If you accept its rules and take a step, the winnings may exceed your expectation. Play with 1xBet. Register with promo code Davido260 and get a chance to receive up to 300% bonus on your first deposit. Use the modern 1xBet mobile app to stay connected with thousands of sporting events every day. 1xBet is regulated by the Gaming Board of Zambia. Not for person under the age of 18. Terms and conditions apply.
Plan your Easter long weekend at Dubois. Nkwashi has you covered. Stand a chance to win a weekend away for 2. Join in on the biggest party of the year, the Nkwashi Freedom Fiesta. Celebrating 60 years of independence in Zambia. All you have to do is get one of the 2 plot types on promotion at Nkwashi. That's a 36 by 20 meters at 1,900 kwacha and 46 by 23 meter plot at 2,700 kwacha monthly installments to enter the raffle. Nkwashi, soar high. Follow us on Facebook to learn more.
This March, enjoy amazing Choppies Pamper and Care deals in a store near you. Get the 8-inch creamy cake for 99 kwacha 99. 150 grams bubbly Cadbury Dairy Milk for 49 kwacha 99. 10's Angel Care Pads for 42 kwacha 99. Care for your skin with 400 mils day by day body lotion for 59 kwacha 99. 20's Cortex Panty Liners for 26 kwacha 99. Sort your laundry with 1.5 kgs Choppies hand wash for 102 kwacha 99. Toast with family and friends with assorted 750 mils Joy Wine for 104 kwacha 99. Get 330 mils Hunter's Dry All Gold 6-pack for 112 kwacha 99. Or 330 mils Angry Lemon Savannah Cider 6-pack for 117 kwacha 99. Look for more savings between now and the 10th of March 2024 and stretch your budget. Like the Choppies Zambia Facebook page and enter the Pamper and Care promotion to win hampers and shopping vouchers. T's and C's apply. Choppies, great value for your money.
Ready to start a new day. David and Mary.
Yes, Mommy.
Get in the car, quickly. That's my daily routine. I drop the kids at school, then I drive to the office, and in the afternoon, I have to take them to their respective activities. Another hour to drive. Fortunately, I have the right insurance dedicated to women that protects my loved ones and myself during our car trips.
We at Swan Zambia understand your needs and put together a hassle-free car insurance that won't let you down. The Protect Car Insurance for Her provides a seamless experience to keep you safe while you commute. We offer a 35% discount on the Protect Car Insurance subscription or renewal, as well as free towing. Please call us on 0957 673070 or visit our website swanforlife.co.zm for more details on our offers and the partners, as well as reward programs.
For you, for them, for life. Swan for life.
Aleteka. Join us for a powerful night of praise and worship by 8th of March 2024 by Kenneth Kaunda International Conference Center, Mulungushi, Mulusaka. An uplifting Christian concert featuring gospel ministers and a powerful worship team. Kuriba Chioma Jesus. Prayer Odede. Phil Thompson. Navena Pompi, Esther Chungu, Kings Malembe, and many more under one roof. Admission Nimahala. Visit www.harvestofpraise.com and register before the 29th of February 2024. The Harvest of Praise music concert where faith meets music. See you there. Lesa Aleteka.
In this day and age, we know you are busy with work, school, family, and friends, and you don't always have the time to make that transaction. We've made banking more convenient with Zanaco Express in store. You can now deposit, withdraw, pay your water, TV, or electricity bill, purchase airtime, or clear all government service bus payments using Billmaster with Zanaco Express agents in select stores while you shop. So what are you waiting for? Bank Bali Ponce and visit a Zanaco Express agent in store at Select Pick and Pay, ShopRite, Choppies, Cheers stores, and Zamtel Green Shops today.
This time check is brought to you courtesy of Zanaco. Are you locked out of your Zanaco mobile banking? You can now reset your Zanaco mobile banking PIN by simply dialing *444#, selecting Forgot PIN, and following the screen instructions to gain access to your account on the go. Email customer service at zanaco.co.zm for more information.
In this day and age, we know you are busy with work, school, family, and friends, and you don't always have the time to make that transaction. We've made banking more convenient with Zanaco Express in store. You can now deposit, withdraw, pay your water, TV, or electricity bill, purchase airtime, or clear all government service bus payments using Billmaster with Zanaco Express agents in select stores while you shop. So what are you waiting for? Bank Bali Ponce and visit a Zanaco Express agent in store at Select Pick and Pay, ShopRite, Choppies, Cheers stores, and Zamtel Green Shops today.
Music and talk radio on another level. Radio after 6. Rev Walter on Prosperity Insights. Now on Hot FM.
Right on. So we're back and very excited. And today, actually, I have this young gentleman that I've come to love so much. This gentleman is one of our vloggers on the continent. And you can imagine, Prosperity Insights, we have the privilege of having a vlogger beyond my man, Simon Mwewale in TV. You know?
Wow.
In fact, I need to bring Simon Mwewale on my show. I'll ask him if he'll be willing. But you know what? Today, we're so pleased. We're so happy that I have this young gentleman. Those of you watching live on Facebook, we now come live on Facebook. Those of you on my platform on YouTube, if you're watching right now or following this, you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm also going to say this on behalf of Swahili Nation. If you're on Swahili Nation and you haven't yet, please subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, click the notification button to remain receiving all or some of the notifications. So today, I have this goal-driven and strategic leader with an outstanding record of managing multiple teams. He is the founder of Swahili Nation One Africa Foundation. He created a YouTube channel, which is called Swahili Nation, that now has more than 372,000 subscribers. That's a big subscription list, my brother. Where am I? 2,000 subscribers?
Don't compare.
His platform is intended to defend the image and heritage of Africa and share knowledge to create a bridge for unity and peaceful Africa. Among many of his qualities, he is a visionary professional with a successful track record in leading diverse areas of operations while growing a community of young Africans with only one goal: to transform and unite Africa. For me, I buy into that because I have what I call the African Renaissance. We're calling it the second African Renaissance. I'm a big noisemaker of that. I believe Africa will have its second Renaissance. And one of the works that SNOA, which is this one we're just talking about, did was the installation of water tanks in 2 remote areas in South Africa. He's also enthusiastic about developing new ideas to reach out to as many Africans as he can to bring change that Africa needs. In 2020, he was granted honorary citizenship from Seoul Metropolitan Government, South Korea. In 2021, was named an Africa Insight Ambassador. And above all, he is devoted to working on various projects which deal with youth empowerment. And you see, I'm so glad that today I have this young man in my studio. And you know, just for the sake of throwing you guys off, I'm going to show you that I'm multilingual. So for the next 2 minutes, we're going to flow in another language.
Let's go, Rev. Let's
do this. Sasa, mambo.
Salama sana.
Yani nimefurahi kwa umekuja huku.
Asante sana kwa kunikaribisha na kwa kunipa platform hii. Nashukuru sana.
Yani
kabisa.
Nimefurahi sana.
Mimi pia.
So huko hapa Lusaka?
Yes.
Live in the studio?
Kabisa niko hapa, siamini.
Ongea na watu wako hapa kwenye nani?
Jamani, Swahili Nation, niko hapa, niko Lusaka. Asante sana kwa support yenu. We have made it. We're in Zambia, baby. Lusaka!
Yo! So there you go, people. So I just showed you guys that I can also do Swahili.
Oh.
And I can do it better than normal. So let me just allow my man, No, you can see this beautiful, lovely lady next to me. She's our newscaster. She's got a beautiful voice, and she's going to be doing the news for us. So let me throw this back to No, you get her to do the thing, and then from there, hopefully, we're not going to have ads. I just pray we don't have any ads. But you know what? I know you're going to pay the bills. But please, over to you, No.
Thank you, Rev. All right, do stay tuned. The news headlines coming up, and after that, we continue with Prosperity Insights.
Like 1, 2, 3, you can make it easily. Zambia's #1, follow by budget, you know my one. 4 great flavors, back with vitamins. Na fed my easy noodles nanga iwe. Likonda easy. Ni magia easy. Ala nikonda easy, ndaba easy.
Easy noodles. Nizi.
Available in 5 great flavors: beef, chicken, spicy chicken, vegetable, and now chicken onion.
Our eagle first took flight in 1964 with one mission.
Option to its workers to either be part of the new bank or leave to pursue other goals. The Energy Regulation Board has taken enforcement action against NDS Transport Limited and Rubis Energy Zambia for breaching license conditions. Millions of travelers in Germany are facing severe disruption to transport services because of strikes by rail and transport staff. And in sports news, Red Bull's Max Verstappen set the pace in first practice at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix ahead of Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso. Ends the headlines.
Zambia's award-winning and most trusted news and entertainment provider. Consistently delivering unrivaled world-class radio 24/7, 365. We are Hot FM.
We need you to read all of this in the next 30 seconds. Is that okay?
Yeah? All of it? Do they really offer all of this?
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's give it a go.
All the goals, flashes and moments. All of Rashford, Salah and Saka. All 380 games, all in HD. Available in all the languages you want, on all the devices you enjoy. Choose the bouquet you want from all the options available. The Premier League, all on DSTV.
Is that all?
Hey, msana wavuka tipumuleko. Iha tenga pezeko. Waiter, Shankocho.
No need to tell me. I know what you want.
Oh.
I've seen you guys from the TV advert, eh? Nice bike, by the way, eh? Wildcat, huh? Wildcat it is. Crisp, refreshing, energy taste.
Yameni jam bottle ya black.
Oh yes, and the whole black thing just adds mysterious allure to the drink. Oh.
Not ukumwa energy drink vishtuone kamkati mungani vizikoronki.
Exactly my point. By the way, can you just sign this Wildcat bottle for me?
Ufuna ka autograph, huh?
Yo, John, what's happening, abantu?
Oh yeah, sorry boss. Yeah, okay.
Can't slow down. Wildcat energy drink. Untamed energy.
This is Maro Auto Spares. With that check engine light on your dash or anything else, Maro is your one-stop shop for all your genuine auto spares for your car. From Nissan, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, Mitsubishi, Subaru, Mazda, and all other car brands in Zambia with pricing that is better than the other guys. Don't waste your time. Call Maro on 0977-434-717 or visit them along Chilumbulu Road opposite Livala Secondary School at Mount Meru Filling Station and in Chilenje with branches in Ndola and Joma. Maro Auto Spares. Genuine parts your car will ever need.
Are you looking to grow and upskill your employees in specially designed training programs? Look no further. Introducing the KSM Transformative Corporate Training and Staff Development Programs. Our comprehensive tailored training programs are designed for interested individuals in executive, middle management, and all levels of staff. Our training programs cover a wider range of areas such as management, leadership, team building, and more. We provide in-house training tailored for your organization's specific needs and delivered both physical and using robust online platforms. Call us on 0957 550123 or 0211-295-486 or email us on training@ksm.co.zm. Visit our offices at plot number 5827 Lusemfa Road, Kalundu. This advert is powered by KSM Management Consultants, your HR provider. Dad, the decoder is showing an error code again.
Not to worry, Dad to the rescue. There's nothing that my toolbox can't do.
Ooh, too much, Dad. No need for all that. With the use of the USSD, you'll have that error code gone in no time without breaking a sweat. The USSD code only costs 1 kwacha per transaction. Just dial *668# any time of the day. It's super easy. The USSD code can also be used to register or activate DSTV accounts, change packages, or pay for your subscription. DSTV. It's your moment.
Rev Walter on Prosperity Insights. Now on Hot FM.
Alrighty, so I'm back, and it gives me great pleasure to bring into the studio for the first time ever in the history of our show. We have this young man, this vlogger from Tanzania. His name is Mika, and he's so interesting. I mean, I've got Mika on the show, and before we even go anywhere, there's already somebody bashing him.
I got used to that.
So I'm like, okay, that sounds like me. But either way, we're glad to have you, Mika. You're more than welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity, and it's my honor to be here to meet up with you face to face and to talk to the people of Africa. Thank you very much. I don't take this for granted.
Indeed, my brother. No, anytime, my younger brother.
Yes.
But so for those who don't know you, I know I read your profile, but
yes,
just in simple words, who's Mika?
Mika is just a country boy who was born in Tanzania, somewhere southern part of Tanzania, called Iringa in 1993, January 5th, Tuesday, 2 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, too much detail. But that's nice.
Yes.
Okay.
That where I was born, and I just love Africa.
Yeah.
With everything I got. I always say that I love God, I love my family, and I love Africa.
Yeah.
And I am dedicating my life to work for Africa.
I love that.
Yes.
And so, when did you discover this love for Africa? Where did it start from? What was the trigger?
Actually, it happened in 2013 when I went to South Korea for my bachelor studies. So I left.
So what were you studying?
I was studying economics.
Interesting, of all things, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I left Tanzania as a Tanzanian, went to South Korea. But when I went there, I realized that Koreans, they don't really know some countries in Africa.
That's right.
So when they look at me, they were not calling me Tanzanian, but they were calling me African. So if you mess things up, if you're from Nigeria or from Tanzania, they don't say Nigeria. Yeah, they just say Africans. Exactly. That's how they see Africans. From that moment, I got to know that, I never thought myself as an African. I was always proud to be Tanzanian.
That's right.
Yeah, but here where I am, as long as you're black, you're an African, they will treat you the same. It doesn't matter where you're from, whether US or UK or Africa, it doesn't matter. So that's when I realized that, I really need to I realized myself as African, and I began to behave like that. So I saw this heavy weight on my shoulder that whatever I do, it must represent Africa. And I felt like responsibility to actually represent Africa in a good way. And that's when I began even this mission, what I'm doing right now.
Wow. So what was your first show? What was your first topic? And did you go straight into vlogging, or did you first start blogging, writing? How did you find yourself on this platform?
So first
in YouTube.
First of all, I started by doing multiple shows in Korea. So I did a lot of broadcasting with national television there.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did you get into that space? That should be interesting.
Actually, so the first day, I just received a DM from my Instagram, right, from this one writer from this one major television station in South Korea. Can I name the name?
Yes, please.
Okay,
please, feel
called
free.
KBS, like Korean Broadcast System.
And so that's like one of their major.
That's number one.
The national.
Exactly.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So they have this one show called My Neighbor's Chaz, and the concept is they just film or they document the life of foreigner in South Korea, like the entire life in 1 hour.
Oh, in 1 hour. Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So they reached out to me and they say, hey, we would like to film you, and I was like, why not?
Go for it.
Yeah. So for the next month, they were just going with me everywhere, in my home, in my church, in my school, in my part-time job to film my life. And after that, they released.
So you must have felt like a celebrity.
Oh, yeah. I felt like that because I had like 12 cameras following me around everywhere I go.
So then people start wondering, is this one?
Who is this guy?
A celebrity from Africa.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And that show, surprisingly, it was for January 1st, 2019. It was the New Year show.
Wow.
So the entire country was watching, and also some countries in the world was broadcasting, across the globe.
That's such a powerful showcase, huh? That was like a massive platform.
Absolutely.
So there must have been great responsibility on you, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To make sure
Absolutely.
you're well behaved.
Absolutely.
Lest they say, these Africans. Go on.
I had that pressure on my shoulder. So after I did that show, then I started to receive a lot of opportunities with other television stations in South Korea. And I did that for quite some time.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was recognized by the country. You read in the bio.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. So after that, later on.
So do you know what, Mark? I feel very much, Mika, I feel very much that was very divine, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really believe this is divine setup.
Literally, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's not every day they just pick somebody, literally out of the blue.
Absolutely. Because you did not know much about me.
No.
We just met through a common friend.
Yes.
And
because of that platform.
Exactly. And you came to my rescue. Actually, you're like my guardian angel. People might not know this, But I know that I wouldn't be here right now if it was not for you. You know what I'm saying? So
those who are watching me, my hand is pointing in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning glory to God.
Because sometimes we feel like, Angel must look like, with the
You
vein
know
and
what I
everything.
mean,
But
huh?
sometimes, your fellow African brother could be
You know
an
what I
angel. And
mean.
that's why we should treat each other with
Absolutely.
respect and with oneness, that
Indeed,
spirit.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
So tell me now about these other connections now.
Yeah. So after all this connection came, my name actually in the country started to grow up.
Wow.
Right. And but eventually I found myself, I got award with the Seoul. Seoul is the capital city of South Korea. They honor me. But deep inside my heart there was something lacking.
Okay.
Because I felt like I was working for South Korea.
Yeah.
And there I kind of felt like, when you work somewhere apart from Africa, they can actually use your talent as much as you have that.
Yeah.
And once it's gone or once you mess things up, then they can
discard
leave you.
you.
Exactly. And never look back. And something like that happened to me.
Oh,
So
wow.
eventually I realized that, I should actually work for Africa, because if I
Yeah.
do something for Africa, it doesn't matter whether I receive something in return or not.
Or not.
Yes,
what
but I'm
matters is
giving
you
to
doing
my
it.
absolutely to my people.
To the
and,
motherland.
and I saw how my people are being treated outside of the continent.
Of course.
So that was actually the trigger point, one of them. But the second one, it was the late president of Tanzania, John Pombe Magufuli.
Magufuli.
He's right there.
Oh my God. This man, man, I have no words, It's your show, so I don't want to start. Because otherwise we'll just go to town.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
please, so tell me more about the inspiration from Magufuli. Where did that come? Of course, he was a very inspirational president.
Absolutely.
But just tell me a bit more about
Yeah.
it. What made him so standing out for you?
Yeah. So when I was 16, my dream was to become a president of Tanzania.
Oh.
Actually, but why I had that dream because I was looking at my country and I saw how the country was going at that time. So everybody will feel like I could become a president and do better job than what they do.
Well, you know what
I'm
I
saying?
mean?
Yeah. But when the President Magufuli came, actually I realized that this is not an easy job.
Yeah.
But I saw what he was doing. It was what exactly I was always thinking about.
Wow.
So that's when I realized that we can actually have good leadership. We can actually have people who can inspire us and let us know that we can actually do something. Because some people, they just talk, but for him, he did action. He kind of acted out.
Yeah.
And for me, I all Tanzanians, the matter of fact, and Africans actually believe that we can actually build our continent with our own money. We can actually solve our problems. We can actually develop ourselves. We have that ability. We have capability, and we have money. We are not poor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
because of that inspiration, I found myself really aligning with that, with that mission. And so even after he was gone, I felt like, I was supposed to carry on. You know what I'm saying? That's what I felt in my spirit, and I was in Korea at that time. So
Wow.
I started right away to do
So
this.
you're telling me that when Magufuli was doing his thing in Tanzania,
Yeah.
you were not even in Tanzania?
I was not in Tanzania. I was never in Tanzania while he was a president. I came when he died.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the trigger. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he died during the COVID era.
Yes.
But a lot of his videos came out. We
Yes.
watched a lot of the things he said.
Absolutely.
Some of us had news about
Yeah.
even the threats on his life, which he
Yeah.
confirmed by
Yeah.
speaking on
Absolutely.
various platforms.
Yeah.
Tell us what was the point that made you say, you know what?
Yeah.
This is it.
I kind of felt like, when he was there, he did a lot of people for the country and for Africans, a lot of things. And he sacrificed his own life to do that.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was not there for him, if you know what I mean. Like, I felt like I was not behind him that much when he was doing it, because we
Yeah.
felt like, this guy is doing it. So it's like,
Just cheering from the sidelines.
yes, but I was never really there up front and to be like, yes, this is what we need. I was somewhere behind the scene, you know what I'm saying? But after he died, that's when I realized that, we don't have anyone who can fight for us anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that was really, and I remember I was having a session in one of the broadcast system in Korea, and when I got that news, I had to cancel because I was not able to do that interview.
Oh, shame.
I left, I went back home, and I was like, oh wow, this just happened.
Yeah.
Because in Africa, like, we have a lot of leaders who are doing great things
Yeah.
in the past,
Yeah.
and a lot of leaders who are doing great things, they don't really last long. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
they
Good
don't.
things
No,
always.
for sure, for
exactly.
sure.
So I was like, no. I think there's something to be done, and I don't need to be a leader to do it.
Yeah.
So
just use whatever platform God has given you.
Absolutely. The vision that I was thinking to achieve in 45 years, when I turned 45 years, I was like, I can actually
I
start
can
it
do
right now. And that's what I'm
that.
doing.
I love that. So
Yeah.
tell for those who don't know
Yes.
what Mika and Swahili Nation stands for, maybe
Yeah.
walk us through.
Absolutely.
I've followed, I've checked what you, but just
Absolutely.
for those listening and watching.
Absolutely. So Swahili Nation, it is the space where our vision is actually to defend. To fight for one Africa, towards one Africa of solidarity and peace and love.
So in terms of currency, in terms of
visa,
one border, one borderless,
passports,
the whole works.
Everything,
Trade.
one army and one people. But we focus from the bottom up.
Yes.
So because we're non-government organization, so we focus on the people. What we want to connect our people, to let Zambians know that, hey, Zambians, you and us Tanzanians, we're one people.
That's right.
We know we have these borders, but these were created by colonizers to divide us and to conquer us.
1885.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So the only way for us to conquer that is by coming together. If they divided us and conquered us, then we need to come together and strive and thrive. That's the only solution. And Nyerere said, without unity, there will never be there will never be a future for Africa.
Yeah.
And that's why we came up with this initiative. And our mission, we just wanted to defend, and protect the image of Africa, to bring back the heritages that were taken by colonizers a long time ago back to the continent.
Yes.
And also descendants of Africans.
That's right.
If they want to come back.
Yes.
But also to create.
So meaning the diaspora people.
Absolutely. And also to decolonize the mind through authentic
and I want
knowledge.
I want you to now delve on the decolonization of the mind, because I know I've spoken a lot about it, but I just want to hear it from a young man of your age. Just talk to young people. Tell us, give us a bit of a lecture on what colonization. So let's start from there. What is colonization of the mind?
Yeah. So I appreciate it. I really love that question.
Yes.
I believe that the big struggle that Africa is in right now is the colonization of the mind. Because colonizers, what they did not just want to colonize us physically. They knew that one day we're going to fight for independence.
That's right.
So what they did, they created a system that will last long for generations.
Agreed.
Even when we fight for independence, we're still going to fight against the system. Today I went to the Lusaka National Museum and I was studying the history of Lusaka, Zambia. Then I realized that actually the original name of this country was named after John Rhodes, like somebody who just came here and it was named after him.
Yes,
but
Cecil Rhodes.
Yeah, thank God for Simon who came and changed later on to Zambia. And I figured out that the meaning of Zambia, it means God come. Literally, like the meaning of Zambia is God comes.
Yeah, it's true. Because in the Congolese language, Nzambe is God.
Exactly.
So that word Nzambe is also, we use it in northwest Zambia.
Yeah.
The God is known as Zambe.
Absolutely.
So Zambezi.
Yeah.
So the whole idea, Zambezi, river of God.
Yeah.
And that's where the name comes from. But powerful.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you know about that.
Yeah. So
go on.
I was really fascinated, Reverend, because every country I go in Africa, for example, Zambia, it feels like it's the fusion of the entire continent of Africa. Because in Zambia, when you read the history of Zambia, you're going to find people of Tonga, you're going to find the people of, like Congolese that came there, see the people from that side. You find the entire continent of Africa in one single country. But colonizers, what they did, they placed this border based on their own interest to divide us and to weakenize us so that they can control us. So, but for us, in order for us to break out from this colonization of the mind, we need to go back to the history of Africa before colonization.
Yes.
To understand who we really were before being colonized. If you go back there, then we're going to realize that we have a lot in common, more than we think or more than what they tell us.
Correct.
And sometimes I feel even the history of Africa, it is not really what Africa is about.
I don't want to start.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't want to start because there's a saying which I love so much. It says, history is written by men that hanged heroes.
Absolutely.
All right. So
Absolutely.
whether you talk about Dedan Kimathi, the Mau Mau guy, you look at what they said about him, or you look at our early leaders.
Yes.
What did they say about our leaders? What did they say about Africa? And how much did they hide? Especially on the history. Maybe for the sake of those listening, I don't know how familiar you are with the history of Africa before colonialism.
Yeah.
maybe just help people
Yeah,
understand, because
absolutely.
it's a shocking history. When I learned it
Yeah.
7-8 years ago, I
Yeah.
was blown away. I didn't
Absolutely.
even know
Absolutely.
that's how much Africa was ahead,
Absolutely.
and how they changed everything
Absolutely.
and turned it into whatever we are today.
Absolutely.
Please go for it.
So the history of Africa before colonization is that Africans, before we were slaves, we were kings and queens.
That's right.
So I learned this history when I went to Ethiopia, because this is the only country that was never
where
colonized.
the way they preserved a lot of the history. Correct.
Absolutely. I
Correct.
found out that when those Italians were coming to Ethiopia to fight in order to conquer the country, they actually took the materials and the artifacts that were written by our forefathers. They wrote about science, they wrote about history, they wrote about medicine, about education.
That's
they took
right.
them and then they brought them to Italy. Until today, they're still not there. They took all of the books.
I know about Egypt.
Yes.
Alexandria.
Yeah.
I know also about Timbuktu in
Yes.
Morocco,
Yeah.
where they still have some libraries. But I
Yeah.
didn't know that they also took those from Ethiopia.
They took everything. Like today, I
tell
went there
you.
and they told me that the old materials,
Yes.
they're not there and they don't want to return it. But why? Because our
Wow.
forefathers, actually, they were seeing the future. They were seeing like
Yes.
1,000 years later and they were writing down.
Are you aware, Mika? I
Yeah.
don't know how much you're aware, but to our listeners, did you
Yes.
know
Mm.
that a lot of the Greek so-called
Yeah.
knowledge was taken off Egypt?
I know.
Literally,
Yeah.
Pythagoras,
Yeah.
a lot of the mathematics and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe just touch a bit on that.
Even I was reading the history of Egypt a little bit. I came to discover that even the medicine that we're using today, it was actually first discovered in Egypt with a black man who was
Yes.
Egyptian. But 100 years later, this guy from Brick, this is the one that we see in history right now. They say he discovered, but there was another black guy who discovered a long time ago.
I tell
Civilization, development, the architect. If you go to Ethiopia looking at the architect of
Yes,
the country,
yes,
it was built by our people.
Do you know, like now that you mentioned that, there's that story, very amazing place. There's a place where they cut an entire church.
Oh my God!
You know,
on the mountain. Yes,
yes,
I
on
know
the
it.
mountain
I
of
know.
rock.
Yeah,
like
I know.
one continuous
Oh
rock.
my God.
This was done 600 AD.
My God,
600 AD.
And that one, it was built on top of the rock.
Yeah.
Another one is built
Inside.
Inside.
Yeah, you go
Lalibela.
down.
It's
Yes.
called Lalibela.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of the world wonders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people,
And that was done by Africans 600 years after.
before even colonization
You know
came.
what I mean?
Don't get me.
Go
on,
Let's
go.
get you started. Let's get you started. Go for it.
I love this. Don't get me started even about Christianity. I know
Let's
we
talk.
have different kind of people,
Absolutely.
right?
No,
But
let's talk
even
about
this,
it.
a lot of people, a lot of Africans are struggling with Christianity idea because they feel like this is what brought colonialism.
Yes.
But what they don't realize is that before colonialism, Christianity was there
Was already
already
in Africa,
and it
correct.
was in Egypt.
Yeah,
so these
absolutely.
guys that just came and they just started to manipulate it.
Do you know what I call it?
Yes.
They Trojan horsed Christianity. So they basically took Christianity as a Trojan horse and then placed their culture
Yeah.
and their colonial thinking
Exactly.
inside of it.
Exactly.
Let me say something because you've really provoked me.
Yes.
We Africans, and this now relates to our leaders. The first group of leaders that we had in the, post-independence, no, it's a pre-independence.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Moseses. We are like the Egyptians, also not the Egyptians, the Jews.
Yes.
The what are they called? The African leaders of yesteryear were like Moseses.
Yeah.
They were literally divinely picked, the Nyereres,
Absolutely.
whoever.
Yes.
And then what they did is they carried us out of Egypt
Oh, yeah.
into
Oh, yeah.
the wilderness.
Oh,
But here's
yeah.
the challenge, Mika.
Oh my God, I
They
love that.
never took
Us to
Egypt.
the promised land.
No. Even Egypt
Yeah.
never left us.
Oh
Now
my
speak
God.
collectively now as Africans.
Wow.
Not me, not
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
We're conscious.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about collectively as a
Oh,
people.
yes.
Egypt never left us.
Yes.
Egypt,
That's so
and you
true.
see, and that's the secret that these guys used. They taught us their language.
Yes.
They gave us their names.
Yes.
They gave us their culture.
Yes.
Posed as religion, but it was
Yes.
basically their culture.
Absolutely.
And so they messed us up.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we've been in an identity. For me, I always say Africa suffers from two things.
Yes.
Misidentity.
Oh, yeah.
Miseducation.
Wow.
Pick
Wow.
it. Pick it. Go with it. Pick it.
You know, sir,
I don't want to start talking.
You remind me when I was in the Lusaka National Museum today. I saw one of the system that they used. I saw the passport. You know, they initiated passport and they said whoever is gonna have passport will be a free man, but anyone who doesn't have passport will be a slave. But in order for you to have passport, you need to be elite. Maybe you need to be educated. You need to you need to have connection with your master. So most of the people who did not have, they were slave. Even though slave trade was already abolished. The same thing with marriage certificate. It started then. The same thing, the certificate of your vehicle or your dog.
And your bicycle and
everything you needed to have a certificate. And what surprises me is that even today, Africans, we know the history of Africans. Our leaders knows that, and they know that it was the system to actually
enslaving
us.
People.
This is supposed to be the right to everybody, but why are we keep entertaining this? Today, if I want to move to another country, I need to hold my passport. And I need to apply for visa.
And you and I, we're black people.
Oh yes.
We are from the same root. We're even Bantu, for crying out loud.
My God. I came to Zambia.
You know, please go for it.
You speak Swahili. I was surprised. I did not know if Zambians speak Swahili. You know, and even some of the local, like Bemba language, some of the words are
they're literally the same. Absolutely.
Basically, when you look at the kingdoms of Africa, for instance, I can talk about Angola kingdom, because it was not Angola, or Congo kingdom. When you look at them, before
the Bakongo kingdom.
Thank you so much.
That's right.
Then you realize that our people were actually one. We were doing all this barter trade. Of course, we were fighting some, here and then, but we are always living as one people. You know what I'm saying? If you want to collaborate with Gola Kingdom, then your king will send Dora and this and that, and that's kind of relationship we had. But when they came, they had to put these borders, and they have to put the system of passport, the system of visa. That if you want to move from Nakonde to enter to Tanzania, you need to have
literally. There's no wall, there is no river, there is no... The only thing is just a line. They just tell you this line here.
Exactly.
So in Tunduma and Nakonde, there are houses that sit in both countries.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I was surprised. I was like, okay,
countries.
Now I'm in Zambia, I'm in Tanzania. I'm in Zambia. But today, 60 years later, we still don't do a thing about it. And this is, we are to blame, because our forefathers, they actually fought for us to bring about independence, but it was not complete.
And
in
we
most
needed
of
somebody
cases,
to take us to what you said.
Absolutely.
To the promised land. So we needed Joshua.
Absolutely. And we are the Joshua of this generation, because we must be willing to learn our history, and at the same time we must be willing to admit that our differences is actually the pillar of our unity. We need to hold on to that. We don't need to abandon them. Okay, you're from Zambia. Okay, that's good. I'm from Tanzania. We're one people. You have differences. You speak this. It doesn't matter. But we're one people. We're Africans. Even if you have kids, all of them, they're not going to look the same. They're not going to have the same behavior. Some of them, they'll be coming home late. Some of them, they'll be, oh, thank you, daddy, and everything. But they're your kids. They're your babies.
That's right.
How can you reconcile, them? And I think this is the big question that we need to pose to African Union and to our leaders, that, where we are today and how much we're struggling today, it is because of us.
Look at your age. Look at how young you are.
Yes.
Like you rightly put it, you raised something profound.
Yes.
Let me pontificate a bit, because I get very touched about this.
I love this.
In 1963, on the 1st of May.
Oh yes, I love that.
Kwame Nkrumah stood at what later became the OAU in the presence of about 40 leaders, which include Haile Selassie, included Jomo Kenyatta, Nyerere, Kaunda, and a number of these guys, and spoke about what was to become the African Union, the United States of Africa. We know very well that from 1963, we are now 61 years later. And we're no close. You know what hurts me? That African Union building you see there was funded by the Chinese.
They built it? Yeah. You don't know what they're placing there.
Including the servers.
Oh my God.
And then matters worse. The AU is 75% funded by the European Union.
Absolutely. It's basically the extension of European Union.
Us.
It is the extension of European Union. And that's why they have Vision for Africa 2063. It will be 40 years from now. That means all this generation will see, they will die. And second, there's no urgency to achieve those vision of 2063. That's why we say One Africa right now, because why are we waiting to 2063? We actually did a research. We asked a lot of people in our platform that how many people will be willing to fund African Union to do their work with the condition of you must accomplish all the vision of 2063 today. You must be transparent with us. You must work for us, but don't receive anything from the outside.
That's right.
Because we want you guys to work for us, and we're going to hold you accountable. More than 95%, they say we're willing to pay. Even if it's every single month, we pay money. Imagine more than 1.4 billion. Let's say only like maybe four like that
400
0.4.
million.
Yeah, those people will pay.
40,000, yeah.
And diaspora as well.
Yes.
And the budget of African Union is very small. Like I was looking at it, in the previous years, like $600 million US.
Wow.
That's very little money.
Yeah, it is for that type of organization. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But everything that is been done, okay, African Union Summit is just passed right now.
Yes,
but guess what? 6 African countries did not attend in those African Union. You know what are those countries? The Western country, like Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali,
where they've just had
Gabon. Exactly.
Yeah.
They kind of like sanctioned them for taking a coup, but at the same time, they invited colonizers. So France were there, Americans were there, Chinese were there. They were there in our building while we're discussing about the future of Africa, while our African brothers and sisters, they're not there. So ask yourself, you cannot just ban people because they're taking over the government, but ask why are they doing that?
That's what I wanted to say. What is the reason for the revolution? Revolutions come on the back of discontent.
Absolutely.
Do you know Napoleon said something very powerful? You know what he said?
Come on, shoot me.
He said, and I quote, "Thank God for religion. Because if it wasn't for religion, the poor would murder all the rich tomorrow."
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's very profound.
Napoleon said that.
That's very profound.
Yes. And then do you know what Henry Ford said, just to add salt to injury?
Yes.
Henry Ford said, and I quote, "If the common man
Yes.
knew how the banking system operates and how we sustain the entire monetary system, there'd be a revolution tomorrow. We'd close."
Oh my God.
Henry Ford said that. Nathan Rothschild said, and these are his words, and I could be missing a word, I could be adding a wrong word, but this is generally what Nathan Rothschild said. He said, "Give me control of a country's money and I care not who sits in its power."
Oh my God. You remind me of what Thomas Sankara said. Whoever feeds you
controls you.
So if more than 70% is being funded by European Union, who is really in charge?
The European Union.
You're not
simple. Simple.
And that's why they cannot achieve this vision that they want to achieve. Because European Union, they don't want it.
No.
One of the most scary things that Western countries, they don't want to happen to Africa is unity.
Agreed.
And that's why me and you, we are enemies.
Yes.
We'll be attacked, we'll be targeted, we'll be monitored.
Yes.
We'll be followed. Some people love us but hate us at the same time. Because what we fight for
the truth
is decolonization of the mind.
Decolonization. I love that word.
That we're not, this reminds me, and my brother, what happened in Rwanda, like Rwandan genocide.
Yes.
When colonizers came, they were telling them that you guys have 3 different tribes, like Tutsi.
Yet
Hutu,
they were one and the same
whatever.
people.
But they were one people,
one language, one same people. It's so true, brother.
And they were not even calling each other's tribe. Tribe word it was not in Africa's context. We were calling nations.
They're right.
They were nations.
Yes.
But when they came, they started to favor one group of people against the other one, and they caused that rage amongst people. And that's what they always
do. You know what they did?
Yes.
Like, just to really, for those who may not be familiar, the Belgian colonizers, who, by the way, were guided thoroughly by
King Leopold
King
II.
Leopold. That's right. When King Leopold was sending what are they called? Missionaries to Africa, he gave very specific instructions and told them, you guys, when you get over there, do this and do that and do this, because our aim is to have control of everything. So then when they went into Rwanda and Burundi, they would measure people. So they would say, these light-skinned guys have got Nilotic features. These are more white. So let's measure the nose. If you've got a thinner nose, a longer face, and thinner lips, you're called Tutsi.
My God.
And those who've got this most squatted look like you and me would be called, no, you, because for me, I would be called a Tutsi for the way I look. And then those, like you two guys, would be Hutus. No, like for real, this is what they were doing. They would even go with a measure. They would be measuring people, like with a little thing. And then they would label them. Then you know what they did? Then they now educated all the Tutsis.
Oh my God.
And they then gave them all the good jobs and gave them all the civil servant work.
Yeah.
So the Tutsis began to advance economically at the expense of the Hutus. Hutus were given the blue collar work, they were given the menial labor. So there began to be resentment. My grandmother, this is true, my grandmother in 1935 with her family ran from Rwanda into Tanzania those days, Tanganyika, because of the first wars. So these wars started in 1935, bro.
Oh my God.
And this is not something that started even as early as 1964 when they 61, 60, whatever year that was, when Rwanda got independence and Burundi. Their first president was murdered by white colonizers because of him trying to break this status quo. To say we need to get rid of this. And so this carried on and of course culminated in the 94 genocide. So you can see it's divide and rule. Sorry, I took the time. Please,
absolutely.
Back to you, brother.
But I want to tell you, Reverend, you know where this came from? This ideology of dividing and conquer? It came from Greek philosophy.
Of course.
So Greeks believes that if you're white, if you have blonde hair, if you have blue eyes,
and if you have
sharp
thin lips, sharp nose, you are a born leader.
You're born leader.
That's right. Greek philosophy, the Romans carried it. Please continue.
Anything opposed to that, you're born slave. You
That's
were supposed
That's where the serfdom comes from.
Absolutely. So when they came to Africa and they found these people who were completely opposite to them, like automatically they knew that we are above these guys.
Racial superiority.
Absolutely.
You know, in it's amazing, my brother. In the 16th century, when the Americans had already moved, when the British and whoever had moved into America to begin their, the Puritans and the first Christians, those guys were really about equality and they had all these principles of Christianity. But as they began to grow, somebody very smart said, no. The way to move here forward is we must enslave. But how do you justify enslaving? You take passages in the Bible, you amplify them.
Yes.
Then number two, you create laws to give you supremacy over other people.
Absolutely.
So the British, it's not even a secret. Cecil Rhodes, the same guy you're talking about, for whom Zambia and Zimbabwe was named after. You know what he said? Said the greatest gift to mankind is to be born English. For the English are superior to every other race.
I'm out of here.
Go for it, Mika, go for it. But these are real. This is history, This is history.
This is history.
Yes.
But let me show
you. But you know, and many people don't know this.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't know this. And that's why, sometimes I talk to my people all the time that you must understand how Africans are being seen through the eyes of the world.
Absolutely.
We might be fighting for equal rights in the United States or in the UK, but it will never happen because those countries were built in this system. If we are going to be equal with them, it's never going to operate.
No.
So the only thing we can do is to fight for the continent because this is our homeland.
Thank you.
And this is the place where we can actually transform things for the next generation. Not for us, because we're already too late.
Mika, tell people about what the plans are for Africa. Now, I know we have to be careful. As we'll just be banned on YouTube. But from what you understand, what's been the deal with Africa? What has been the fascination with Africa? Why are they all here? Whether east or west.
So let's take an example, just one country in Africa, Congo. The wealth of Congo, it's more than $2 trillion US.
Yes.
That is the economy of USA and Europe combined.
No, it's $24 trillion.
All right.
On the ground, right?
Look at that. Yes.
24 trillion.
So if it's 24, I thought it was 2, which is that is the economy of Europe and USA combined. That is one country in Africa.
Yes.
I did not talk about Zambia, Tanzania, Ethiopia, South Africa, Kenya.
No.
So imagine the wealth of the entire continent. Yet every single year, these are reports provided by UN, that every single year, Africa is losing more than $100 billion. But Africa is receiving the loan of only $50 billion. So it's kind of like I'm giving you, 100 kwacha. And I'm taking like 2,000 kwacha away from you.
Yes.
So, okay, let's take an example of Burkina Faso, who fought against France just recently.
That's right.
So what was happening there? Niger. Let's take Niger. So when you go to Niger, more than 80%, they don't have electricity. But you know what? Niger is one of the countries in Africa that produce uranium. France, they're taking uranium from Niger, they bring it to France, and 40% of electricity in France is coming from Niger uranium. So what they do is they take it, They bring there in the France. There's this, what is this nuclear plant?
Yes.
They process it and then they sell those uranium across Europe and even Africa. And the money that they get, you know what they do with? They give loans again to Niger.
Absolutely.
So basically,
that's why those people decided enough of this nonsense.
Absolutely.
We can't take this anymore.
Because loans are not really loans. Those are our money and our resources.
Yes.
But we African, we are trained to believe that we need support and we cannot develop.
So do you know what has happened now?
Yes.
If you followed Ghana, what are they about to do? They were just about to sign a law. We won't mention the name.
Yes.
They were about to sign a law.
Yeah.
And the World Bank and IMF have told them,
yeah,
if you guys sign this law, $6 billion is going to be cut off from you.
And so look at that. Uganda, they did that.
Yes.
And they're sanctioned right now.
Yes.
And I did that news of Ghana, that they're doing it. And I applaud them because I said this. You know what?
I applaud them too.
It is the time for Africa to realize that sometimes in order for us to develop ourselves, we need to cut.
Agreed.
And we need to sanction ourselves.
But do you know what's going on? My little understanding, they've always wanted this continent, my brother.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go into a topic here, but what I just know is that this is the last safe bastion.
Yeah.
Let me just say it that way. This is the last place they'll come to.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be things that are going to happen over there. We can't just say them. But they're going to come here.
Yeah.
And
they already started.
Anyway, let's not go there because I was going to start telling you some crazy stuff and then we'd be in trouble on YouTube.
Oh my God.
But please go ahead. Finish your thoughts.
What was I saying?
No, because you touched on Ghana, you touched on us standing on our own and just cutting these guys off because we don't need this. But many times Africa has failed to do that.
Absolutely.
Anytime we've had a leader who wants to do that,
they're gone. And that's why I think, and I have this conviction with all my heart that Africa, if we cannot wake up today, right now, and come together as a people, not entertaining the differences we have, if it's tribes, if it's religion, if it is color of the skin, if it is, which country you're coming from, if we cannot entertain this and come together as one people, these guys, they don't stand a chance because they need Africa. Like
divided we fall, united we stand. That's just a fact.
Yes.
They need Africa.
Yeah.
All we just need to do is just say, forget about your LME and forget about all these markets you have out there.
Absolutely.
We're going to trade with ourselves.
Absolutely. And we can start by doing this. I'll give you three lies, big fat lies.
Please go for it,
that
brother.
we believe about ourselves that is not true. First thing, they say there's a developed countries and developing countries. Guess who is developing countries? Africa. But guess what? If you are a developed country, why do you need Africa's resources to develop yourself? That means the truth is we are all developing countries. And are all finding opportunity to develop ourselves by taking advantage from another people. But this lie is there so that for us we may always constantly think that we need them to develop us.
We need this white. We need this white. So
exactly.
here in Zambia, people who are successful, you know what they're called?
Yeah.
Bazungu.
Oh my God. Oh my! Get me out of here!
Go on, Mika. Lie number two.
That there's a first world countries, second world countries, and third world countries. Guess where we are, Africa?
Third world.
But I know we only have this one world. I mean, Elon Musk is trying right now to prepare Mars, so basically maybe we'll have two worlds. But in the moment, we only have one world. But what does it do to your mind when you think you're from the third world country?
I'm useless, I'm weak, I'm rubbish, I'm poor.
And you want to go to the first world country to find opportunities.
Yes.
And that is brain drain. That's why we have a lot of Africans who are leaving, they're going
what they're doing now?
abroad.
Did you know what they're doing now? They're actively taking the people. It's no longer even a secret. When you're a nurse, you get an instant visa into the UK right now. No questions asked. Just go there, show your nurse degree, whatever it is, you get a job. Go as a doctor, you get a job.
God. What pains me, Reverend, is that even our leaders, they justify this act by saying that we're sending our people abroad to bring the skills. But look at this. Why don't you bring our African descendants that they were taking long time ago, and we sold some of them because of slavery, slave trade. We sold them. Why don't you bring them back? Because they want to come back. They always have them. They want, but they don't have opportunity in Africa. No. They're not given visa. They're not given land. They're not given. Why don't you bring them here to come with the skills, expertise to share with the continent, to develop our continent on our own? But if you want your house to be built by Americans, it's not really your house. It's their house.
Yes.
It's not yours. Yeah. So this is the big fat lie, the second one, that, there's a first, second, third. We should all believe that there's only one world.
Agreed.
and you are coming from Africa, USA, Europe, it doesn't matter. We are all one people.
Agreed.
If you cut us, we all have, red blood.
Yes, same organs on the inside.
Exactly.
The organs they're not, it's not a different pancreas for a black person and a different pancreas for a white person.
And bandama.
You know what I mean? Number 3 lie.
Yeah, don't look down on yourself. That's what I'm basically saying.
Yeah, true.
Number 3 lie is that, that's world. Now, Africa needs the world.
Oh.
But the truth is, Africa sustains the world.
Thank you.
And I'm using that word deliberately because the meaning of sustain.
I put that in my book. I said the truth of the matter is that Africa does not need the world, but the world needs Africa. That's why they are here every single day with this thing they call aid. Those were swear words. I couldn't use them on radio.
Yeah.
What they call aid. It's not aid. It's welfare.
Aid
welfare is the most disempowering tool ever invented by human beings to keep one group suppressed by another. It's called welfare. And you're busy clapping. Oh, we thank you for your whatever you call it. I really get pissed off. Anyway, please go on, Mika.
I get pissed off with that every time.
Yeah,
I get that pissed off with that every time when I see our leaders, going here and there, asking for loan and aid that, we need your support, we need this and that. And I'm like, hey, get out of here, man. Africa sustained the world. That means Africa strengthened physically, mentally the entire world.
Agreed.
And this world is alive today because of the resources of Africa.
Thank you.
So if Africa will wake up and realize that and stand on our seat, then we're going to be in the negotiation table.
Agreed.
That you don't just come and be like, I'm giving you this deal, but we'll be the one that determine that, okay, this is what we're going to give to you. You want it, get out of here. You don't want you want it, get it. You don't want it, get out of here. We're going to look at there. We need to be in the decision tables, but we're not there and we cannot be in that table.
And you know what annoys me? We're still begging. Please, put us on the G8, G20, whatever you call that thing, G6, G20.
Let's create our own.
Yeah.
Why do we need them?
Exactly.
Let's create our own, come together and develop our continent. And I don't know why people, they think this is very complicated. It's not.
No.
It's actually not, because you can see right now the president of Burkina Faso, what he does for his country. You can see his moves, and he has been tried to, to be removed like more than 3 times right now. But, he started this nuclear plant in the Burkina Faso and, gold mining. They're processing in Burkina Faso. Exactly.
Sell it to the Arabs.
All the students right now, they're wearing local traditional uniform to go to school, right? He is dealing with education.
So he's Sankara reincarnated.
Absolutely.
Closing remarks. We need to wrap up now. Just do the wrap up here.
My brothers and sisters,
people are really feeling the show.
My brothers and sisters, African, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, in that 1963 when he was in Ghana, he said these words, that unity will not make us rich, but it will make it difficult for those other countries, Western countries, to humiliate us.
So thank you.
And therefore, we need to come together, because if we are working individually, the house that is divided can never stand.
Never.
All 54 countries, we need to forget for a second about all these borders that were created by colonizers and come together as one people. That we need to fight for the rights. We need to fight for what we already have. And if our leaders, who I call them politicians, because politicians are concerned about the next election.
That's right.
Leaders are concerned about the next generation.
That's
Maris
why
Monroe said that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
So we don't have leaders who are concerned about the next generation.
No.
So the only thing that you should pick your leader, you should ask them, what do you think? What do you have a plan about our kids?
Yeah.
And the generation after that. You see a lot of them, they're working 1 year or 2 years before election. You know why they're there. And also another thing, we need to have a vision for Africa.
I tell you.
In 1,000 years to come.
Yes.
So if we have that vision, every single leader that is coming in the country or African Union, exactly there.
Yeah.
If you have other agendas, you can work on them, but you have this thing that is guiding you. That Zambia, in the next 1,000 years, we want to be here, and any president that will come from any party will work towards this. Exactly. So that we may not have individuals who just do things, whatever they want. You have this person building this, and you have another person breaking that and start another thing.
Start another thing, and we keep starting all the time.
And that's why we are always, we are always here where we are. You get a good leader maybe doing 2 things good, another one in good, like 10 bad things. We cannot reach there. So unity is the only answer for this continent. If we do not realize that today, not tomorrow, today, then I'm telling you, we are doomed. And we're gonna be we are already colonized by financially, economically. We never break out from that chain.
Religiously, you name it. Anyway, Mika,
Yes, sir.
Powerful. We need to wrap this baby. We have to end this baby.
Thank you, sir.
Those of you who've been watching, I hope you learned something here. You need to realize that we must. These are the words of Marcus Garvey, immortalized by Bob Marley. Emancipate yourself from end time slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds.
Wow.
Marcus Garvey also said, a people without knowledge of their history and culture are like a tree without roots.
Oh my God.
That's why every person on this continent must learn the real history of Africa.
Yes.
Not this bastardized history they taught us, where we're running around in birthday suits from 1800 coming forward. We want the real history.
Yes.
What did the African ancestors achieve in 400 AD? Right, in fact, basically from 3000 BC,
Yeah.
you know, through Kemet,
Yeah.
right through Alexandria, which was the center of knowledge,
Yeah.
right through the Nubians of Sudan,
Yes.
the Ethiopians, and our great kingdoms in you know, Kush and Benin kingdom, and the kingdom of the Mansa Musas and all the Musas of that time. Sorry, the Mansas of that time, right through up into the 14th and 15th century, when there was a deliberate strategy to begin destroying Africa. And so today, sons and daughters of our Kebulan, wake up. Wake up, my friends. I am a kingdom believer. I am a kingdom citizen. I believe in Jesus Christ. But I know for a fact that Jesus Christ is also for us. And the key lies in our awakening. But it's coming.
Yeah.
Africa's second renaissance is here.
Absolutely.
Over to you, Nono.
Thank you, Rev. There you have it. That's it for today's episode of Prosperity Insights. Be sure to catch the good Rev next week on Thursday, just after 18:30 right here on Hot FM. Coming up at 20 hours, the news, and the final hour, Throwback